Hi, it's Ross Rosenfeld again. After the initial posting of the video about the Common Core tests and why parents should not opt out, there was some response that I would now like to reply to. First off, I want to say that most teachers are caring and decent people, and most parents have good intentions as well. But a lot of this, again, is just based on poor information. One of the things that I keep hearing about is, first off, that the tests are unfair, that some of the questions are too hard. Well, whenever you have a test, you're going to get some questions that are intentionally hard, some that are moderate, and some that are easy. And if you want to talk about the test being too hard, well, we could talk about that and adjustments could be made. See, this is part of the problem that I'm having, that it seems to be that this false dichotomy is being formed. That people are saying, well, either we have to get rid of the tests or we have to keep them and there's nothing else we can do. And that's just not true. The fact of the matter is that we could have these tests and make improvements on them. I don't know why everyone who is against the test says that, well, there's nothing else we can do but get rid of the test and go back to the old standards, which were basically no standards, by the way. There's another option. We can talk about ways to improve the test. I mean, I know that's a crazy idea, but we can also talk about ways to improve how we're teaching and all of that. We can have that conversation. And by the way, another mistake that people make is they assume that the Common Core dictates teaching methods. It dictates standards and it suggests teaching methods. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of schools make a lot of their own decisions as to how they're going to teach. Because the Common Core standards have high stakes for the schools, not for the students, but for the schools, a lot of the schools pay a lot of attention to it, obviously. Some people consider this a bad thing. I don't. I think it's a good thing that they're concentrating on these standards. Do they make mistakes in their efforts to concentrate on these standards? Sure they do. We could talk about other things that they're leaving out that perhaps they should include. I don't want to see them getting rid of art or music or important programs, but the fact of the matter is that our kids were behind. So the idea that we should have done nothing is a ridiculous idea. And I also want to point out that it seems that a lot of people are starting with their conclusion first. They're saying, well, okay, my kid got a 2, or too many kids in my classroom got a 2 or a 1, so it must be that something's wrong with the test. And they're not even considering the possibility that perhaps your child or the students in your class are legitimately behind, and that should be considered. So please, if you want to talk about how we can make improvements and what we can do to improve the standards, I'm all for that conversation. I'm all for talking about how we can make the Common Core better. But if your idea is simply, oh, let's get rid of this, that's not much of an idea. Thank you.